This past year, many of us have been reaching, searching, yearning for sources of life, especially while we have been apart physically. I'm reminded of a few stories of ways that in the midst of a global pandemic that nearly made us all wither, that we found ways to stay near to the source of life and to one another. My dear friend Wayne is a gifted musician in Atlanta. And at the beginning of the pandemic, when it was clear that the quarantine was going to be more than just a few days or even a few weeks of what felt like snow days at the beginning, Wayne began making recordings of 2-minute piano songs from his home and posting them on Facebook. And what started as something fun and life-giving for Wayne became a source of connection for his network and his church community who were suddenly separated by distance. As a musician, Wayne knows that music, for many people, is a source of life and a way to worship the living Christ. When I asked him this week what compelled him to post those recordings, he said he did it because he knew all concerts had been canceled and that people still needed music. He expressed that it helped him feel near to the people he loved. Perhaps he knew that it helped him to abide. It helped him to feel like he still mattered. There have been other echoes of what it means to stay near, to abide. A nurse working in a COVID unit did not want to risk carrying the illness home to her husband and preschool-aged daughter, so they asked the community for help finding an RV to keep in their driveway so that she could still be near the ones she loved when she returned home from work, caring for the deeply sick patients at the hospital. Her community showed up, and she was able to spend time to be near to her family while staying in an RV in her driveway in the midst of this global pandemic that was swirling around us as she cared for these patients. There are chaplains among us who perhaps have a new definition of what it means to be near, to abide. They have spent this year connecting grieving family members with sick loved ones using screens. They have prayed through layers of masks and PPE, and yet they have remained near to those who are hurting. We have seen activism continue throughout this year, showing us once again that one voice alone is likely to wither after a while, but voices together, connected to the source of life, committed to abiding in love, can make change. May we remember when we chant, march, and pray that if we for 1 second try to do this work alone or for our own agendas, we will surely wither. I am reminded of a quote by activist Lilla Watson: "If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together." In our work, friends, may we always remember that we are connected to the same source of life, to the same vine.